Previously on 2 Up and Overloaded. As we made our way back to Kuching, the city where we started our motorcycle journey in East Malaysia, we delved into the rich history and cultures of Malaysia's ethnic Chinese. But now we were back on the road and only had a couple of days left before we had to bring our KTM 250 adventure motorcycle back to the rental place. But this next stretch of road was going to take us to an extremely remote corner of the island, an area that is only accessible by boat, an area that is so isolated that we are forced to get unclean petrol, and suddenly we realized that we may have just destroyed the motorcycle in the process.
Hey everyone, nice to have you here. We are Tim
And Marissa, no tear.
I ride in the front
And I'm in the rear.
We travel the world and we pack too much gear.
Oh, all the places we'll go.
Through rain and through sleet and through mud and through snow.
Oh, all the things we'll see.
We've been to a country or two.
Or 3. Oh, all the fun we've had.
You have you along would make us real glad.
So give us a like and
Hit subscribe to join us along our epic ride.
So after our brief lunch of laksa, of course, well at least that's what I had.
Yeah.
It's my favorite dish to get in Sarawak.
Lots of laksa.
We headed back on the road.
No, it's okay. We'll lose it. No, it's okay. Thank you very much. For the cats. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
We were headed to an area called Maludam National Park, which a lot of people told us we should definitely go visit. It is a coastal, low-lying wetland area that is famous for its unique animals, and it's really remote. You can only get there by taking 2 ferries to and from the area. It's almost like cut off from the rest of society.
When we got to the ferry and we got on, it was pretty exciting because we went across the river. It was a very wide river, which is good. It was too long to ride the motorcycle across, but there are some really awesome little river crossings on all of the BDRs that we have ridden through back in the States. And this is an awesome time to shout out Emmaus Moto Tours, who do just that. Take you down these absolutely incredible landscapes where you go through desert lands, there's mountain passes, there's river crossings, there's just epic landscape everywhere you can possibly think of.
And you definitely want to go with Emmaus Moto Tours because they will guide you through all of the difficult sections, and you'll be with a group of fellow motorcyclists. It is always an amazing time.
A lot of times when you're crossing a river, you don't know how deep it is or what the best path is. And so when you're with an actual tour guide, they know how to make you not dump into the river, flood your engine. You're in good hands. Just a combination of a trusted tour guide on the BDRs, which are the back road discovery routes. That combination is absolutely priceless and flawless. So make sure to check them out at emmausmototours.com. But once we were on where the road connected to the coast that kind of strung along, we could immediately tell that it was not just all palm oil. It was really, really pretty.
Yeah, this was the national park.
Indeed. And to actually delve deep into the national park, you have to dive pretty far into it.
Yeah, and you have to take a boat.
Indeed. We knew that this was the habitat of a lot of, hornbilled birds, rhinoceros hornbills, what are they called?
Yeah, rhinoceros hornbills.
See, it's not as easy. You looked at me, everybody was like, why can't you say it? Say it aloud. Rhinoceros hornbilled birds, buddy.
Maludam National Park is an entirely low-lying, flat peat swamp forest. Although forests like this used to cover much greater areas of Borneo, they've mostly been exploited for timber and palm oil plantations. It's an important habitat for many animals such as rhinoceros hornbills, stork-billed kingfishers, proboscis monkeys, and this park has the only viable population of red-banded langurs in the world, a type of critically endangered monkey that is only found in Borneo.
Sun was going down and we knew we needed to find somewhere to stay for the night, and there weren't a whole lot of options. So there was this town of Maludam.
Maludam, yeah.
And we were hoping that there'd be a string of options there. There turned out to be one. Pulled the motorcycle up onto the curb, and I kind of did like this Benny Hill thing, trying to to get it perfect. I nailed it. In
You
the
did.
end,
Eventually.
I got it.
Is that still called nailed it?
Yeah.
If it's just takes 10 minutes.
It was like parallel parking with no obstacles in front or behind. There was something behind me, but I didn't want to block the 100% store, and I didn't want to block the stairwell. So I was just being polite.
It was super tricky.
And everyone was watching me, and finally I was like, you know what, this is gonna be good enough.
Look at this. This one is huge. Wow. Air conditioner's working. Yay. Good morning, everyone. It's our last day.
It's a scary day,
Why is it scary?
because it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, it's our last day of travel, and we are only 3 hours away from Kuching here in Maludam, which is a tiny, tiny little village,
Yeah.
kind of on the edge of this national park and also on the coastline here. We had to take a ferry to get here, and we have to take a ferry to get out of here.
And there's one gas station, and I'm hoping that they have gas, or else this is where we live.
Gas station.
This is where we live.
So that's kind of first order of operation today, is to get gas and to get the ferry and get out of here. But actually before that, we're gonna go have some breakfast.
Gas ourselves up.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Yeah.
very hungry. So let's check this town out. So the next day, we had a very important plan of getting gas right away.
Yes, we needed breakfast first. We needed
Yes.
to gas ourselves and then get gas our motorcycle because there were no like big like Patronas or Shells or anything that we saw, and I was getting a little nervous.
This is the one breakfast place in the town. And dinner place. It's the one place.
It's the one piece. We found the one piece. Oh, fish.
Ready to go. So we pulled out of town, which is like a strip mall.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Bye, buddy. Bye, mister.
Took a right and got to the gas station, which was this little shed.
To the left.
Uh,
Both lefts.
Both lefts.
Yes.
It was a right. We had to go back the way we came. We were gonna look later, and then at the end be like, you have to apologize to the people.
I'm pretty sure it was lefts.
It's a right.
All right.
Gasoline? Gasoline? Petrol?
The gentleman that was giving us the gas didn't speak English, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Motor.
Motor. No diesel. No diesel.
101% of all motorcycles, like they all run off of petrol. But for some reason, this guy was like, diesel, right? And I was like, no, diesel. And he's like, diesel.
No diesel. Okay. Yeah, we can't have them put diesel in.
I know that'd be bad. Maybe saying diesel a bunch of times is not a good idea.
And I was like, no, gasolina. And like Espanol. And then I was like, no, just regular gas.
So, regular gas, right? Regular? Okay.
And I was fairly sure that he knew that the motorcycle wouldn't take diesel.
Yeah.
But I was just really concerned because the word was said. And I was like,
Yeah, that was the problem. I think you did a very good job of saying that you didn't want diesel, but because now the diesel was brought up and
Yeah.
you're on this new fandangled big kind of looking motorcycle, it's an adventure brand, probably something he's never seen before.
maybe.
It just got stuck in our heads.
Yeah, he wouldn't, I don't think.
I don't think there's any motorcycles that take diesel.
No, but the people are weird.
After that moment, we were a little bit concerned whether
Yeah.
it was diesel or not.
Oh, I said diesel a lot. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was like no diesel. And I just wanted to, and I don't even know if that time I was using T-dot diesel as much. T-dot meaning no.
Okay.
Long and short, we got some kind of fluid in our gas tank. All the
For
way
the
to the
best.
brim, and we gave him a little bit of cash and we left.
Berapa harganya?
12.
Thank you. Alright, get up. Thank you. I think that should be enough to get us.
Not too much further down the road, the bike started acting funny. It was from going into first into second into third. First into second was kind of weird, and it just didn't feel like it had a lot of power behind those 250 horsepower. And anytime we would turn around corners or like go over a bump and I had to slow down, to anticipate, not launching Marissa off the back. But anytime I needed to gun it again, it was just like, it just felt really bad.
So by the time we got to the next ferry that was going to take us off of this Maludam National Park area, we were pretty upset because we knew there was something wrong with the motorcycle.
We got on the ferry and we parked it, and it wasn't the joyful ferry ride that we had getting onto this remote section. I was just ultra concerned that I had screwed the bike up on the last day we were gonna have it. I didn't know what the guy put in it. I didn't know how old it was. I was just not a happy camper at that moment. So even if I said diesel, I don't think it should be like, I don't know.
This ferry ride was miserable. It felt so long. All I wanted to do was test the motorcycle out. You know, rev it, start it up. Of course, you're on a ferry, you can't do any of that.
If it makes you feel any better, according to my research, we wouldn't have gotten this far if it was diesel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was like this torturous waiting to see what is going on. Also, we were in this really remote area, and I was terrified that it just wasn't going to start again.
And we didn't have cell service. We didn't know about like a tow truck, like, you know, just all the worst case scenarios are going through our head. And then here comes the ferry docking, and of course we're all the way up at the front because that's where all the motorcycles go. And I flipped the switch and I started it, and it started up, and I was super, super excited. And then we got off of the ferry and we started going up the little concrete ramp. And like 3/4 of the way up, it just died. Like first gear, just couldn't do it. I had to turn it off and on and restarted the ignition a whole bunch of times. Thankfully it started up again, but now I'm super freaked out, and it was no more fun, no more tourism today. It's a beeline directly towards Tay Motors because we need to get this service because this is bad.
Now this was a rental motorcycle, and we had rented it from Kuching, from a place called Tay Motors, a month ago. We had rented it for a month. It was about due to be back. We still had a few more days left on our rental, but we decided no, like there is something wrong. And we didn't know what we had done to it, but we just really needed to take it back as quickly as possible. The other big problem is that this area was so remote, there was still no gas station for a very long time. And so we were just going to have to see what this motorcycle could do, if it could get us to the next gas station.
Yeah. And Marissa, being the co-pilot, put in on Google Maps where the closest gas station was, and I rerouted it in my phone, and sure enough we got there, and I was super excited because now in my mind it's like, all right, now all I need to do is just drain all that bad gas out of the tank. There'll still be some in some lines, but we'll be able to burn through that relatively quickly.
All right, we've concluded that draining the tank is not gonna happen. So there's only a little bit left anyway, so we're just filling it up and hoping for the best. It might be a while before all that bad gas has been run out of the lines, but I kind of want to know like right away if it works. I'm not going to know.
But for some reason, on the 250 Adventure, like the gas hoses aren't on just two like little clips that you can just take off from the main line and just drain into like a plastic bottle or something. it was this insanely overcomplicated way of draining the gas out of the main tank. On the 1190, it's 2 clips, and you could drain the tank. And we had about a quarter of tank in it. So in my mind, I was like, well, if we put in premium, hopefully that will offset the other lower octane or bad gas, and it will all mix together into like this kind of crappy gas, but not awful gas, and burn through that as quickly as possible, then put more premium in at the next gas station we see and just kind of flush it out of the system. So that's the choice that we made. I filled it up with premium gas and we got back on the road.
Alright, so I got a full tank now. Have a nice day. Thank you.
And I knew for the first couple miles or for the first 20 minutes, you know, there'd still be some gas that was bad, but an hour later it was still riding not very well.
Yeah, I really was hoping that it would immediately be better with that new gas. And of course, that was not the case. It still had all of these problems of just cutting out in the middle of nowhere, or all of a sudden you don't have any acceleration and it just, like the engine's on, but it's just not doing anything. And then there were times where it would cut out and not want to start again. There was something majorly wrong, and
I was just
couldn't
super
figure out what it was.
bummed because this was the last day we're gonna have the bike, and we you know, potentially damaged the engine. We're honest people, obviously, so we were going to tell Tay Motors that the engine was messed up and hopefully not have to pay for an engine rebuild, but just all this was really heavy after having such an amazing time riding around such a beautiful part to, you know, kind of maybe botch it all on the last section of it.
This was the last day that we were going to be riding the motorcycle, the last day of our rental, and the motorcycle had been absolutely 100% perfect up until this day.
Yeah.
And now we had done something terrible to it.
So we pulled into Tay Motors.
Live a little, flip the page, give it some more, getting out of my way. I was hiding, bulletproof.
And Alicia was there with wide smiles, and you know, it was really cool. And you know, the mechanics and everybody greeted us. We had an amazing tour. Like, it was great. So we told her how amazing it was, and then we told her, I said, just as of, you know, this afternoon, the bike was acting weird, going into second gear, third gear, power struggle, this, that, and the other thing. I was concerned that we had done something, and not only would I not get my deposit back, but there might be additional costs. But as soon as I told her about all the issues, she said, well, we'll have our guy test ride it, we'll have our guy service it, we'll have, you know, an oil change is due, and this, that, and the other thing. And the guy took it on a test ride after messing around with it for a little bit, and he said, yeah, there's absolutely no issue. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes!
And I was like,
oh, what a relief.
right?
This motorcycle has been through thick and thin with us. We absolutely loved it. We're gonna miss you, Real McCoy. Oh, you've been so good.
And to be fair, it was a lot better. By the time we got to the city of Kuching, it really was not acting up nearly as much, and that whole last probably 40 minutes, it didn't have any problems at all.
No, but we just want to be ultra honest.
But I think the mechanic, you know, he looked at everything and he was right. Whatever it was, that bad gas that we had put into the motorcycle, it had run its course and it was now perfectly fine. Back at KTM, yay!
That's what I was telling you when I have bad gas. I said, just let it run its course, and then it's going to be perfectly fine.
So this was the end of our incredible journey all around East Malaysia. From Kuching in Sarawak, through Brunei, into Sabah, a whole loop of Sabah, and then back through Brunei and to Kuching once again. We went from kilometer 0 to the tip of Borneo, to Semporna, Tawau, through the jungle road, all the way back and again to Kuching. It was incredible. and we were so happy to be back, and we celebrated that evening with our friend Andy,
Indeed.
who is from Kuching, and we went to the beautiful night Riverwalk area that has a gorgeous view of that
Government
golden
building.
government building.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. Huge flag, this awesome bridge. You know, there's little boats floating down the river that are all lit up, and there's musicians playing.
Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, my love, my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright.
Modern day, beautiful, stunning city. Very, very, you know, good exclamation point to the end of our little journey.
Oh,
there's a
video. Hello.
Hi,
What is your name?
my name is Andy.
Andy.
Yeah.
He's
Thank you
our
so
good
much.
friend.
Yeah.
You made an amazing night for us.
Okay,
Terima
thank
kasih,
you.
Andy.
And we were sad to be leaving Kuching once again, but this was the end of our time in East Malaysia, and next we were going to be heading back into Indonesia. But don't worry, we will be back in Malaysia in the future because we are going to be going to West Malaysia.
Peninsular Malaysia.
Yes, after Indonesia.
It's gonna be Malaysian. Nope, don't like that one. Cut that.
Let's go in.
All right.
Next time, we do a very special video about some of our best experiences with food in East Malaysia. And some of our worst.
Is this?
But that will all be in the next episode.
See the patty. It's under there somewhere.
So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. And if you've been enjoying this journey, please check us out on Patreon. You can join for as little as $1 a month.
Indeed, and you will get early access to our YouTube videos. They are ad-free, and we send out postcards. We just did another postcard blast out to all of our new and old patrons, and are able to send back to the States, and Canada, Romania. Thank you, we love you. We have friends, and we consider them family all around the world. And we would love to be able to have you along for the ride as well, and to shoot you our appreciation as we meander around this beautiful part of the world.
That's right, so check out our Patreon page in the link in the description below. And thank you so much for riding along with us.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye!
Peace.
We wanted to call this episode Bad Gas, also known as Tim.
Tim. But then my feelings got hurt, and we talked a lot about it off camera, and how much it hurts me inside. But here it is. Joke at my expense.
Here we are.